Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are talking about the Amazon Echo, and this should come as basically no surprise to anybody, especially if you watch me, but Bloomberg just broke that a whole bunch of people are listening to your audio recordings. Now, here's what's going on, and I've got a ton of notes on this from Bloomberg and a couple of other sources. But basically what this is Amazon is employing thousands of people around the world to help improve basically the voice recognition in the Amazon Echo. And so they have teams of listeners that are basically listening to the voice recordings captured by, the echoes, whether they're in your home, your office, wherever they are, wherever they're turned on. Now, these recordings are, and I've got notes, they're transcribed, annotated, and then fed back into the software, that which runs the Amazon Echo, as a part of an effort to eliminate gaps in Alexa's understanding of human speech and help it better to respond to commands. That comes from Bloomberg. Now, this team, if you're wondering, is not basically localized in the United States. It is actually around the globe. And so they've got outposts everywhere from Boston to Costa Rica, India, Romania, and other places as well. And basically, they are expected to work a 9-hour shift, and they are going to analyze roughly 1,000 clips per shift, 1,000 audio clips per shift. Now, here's where it gets interesting to me. And I'm going to quote from Bloomberg here for a bit, but bear with me because I think you're going to find this fascinating. Occasionally, the listeners pick up things Echo owners likely would rather stay private. A woman singing badly off key in the shower, or a child screaming for help. The team use internal chat rooms to share files when they need help parsing a muddled word or come across an amusing recording, meaning they find something amusing and now they're sharing it with other people, other Amazon employees that are tasked to do this. I continue. Sometimes they hear recordings they find upsetting or possibly criminal. 2 of the workers said they picked up what they believe was a sexual assault. When something like that happens, they may share the experience in the internal chat room as a way of relieving stress. So they are literally sharing a possible sexual assault. And I continue. Amazon says it has procedures in place for workers to follow when they hear something distressing, but 2 Romania-based employees said that after requesting guidance for such cases, they were told it wasn't Amazon's job to interfere. And so basically, these Amazon Echoes are picking up a whole bunch of stuff. And I think this opens up a whole bunch of can of worms, for a whole bunch of different stuff. And I will get to that in a second, but I want to read you what Amazon officially said, or was officially quoted by saying, by Bloomberg. And I quote, "We take the security and privacy of our customers' personal information seriously. We only annotate an extremely small sample of Alexa voice recordings in order to improve the customer experience. For example, this information helps us train our speech recognition and natural language understanding system so Alexa can better understand your requests and ensure the service works well for everyone. We have strict technical and operational safeguards and have a zero tolerance policy for abuse of our systems. Employees do not have direct access to information that can identify the person or account as part of this workflow. All information is treated with high confidentiality, and we use multi-factor authentication to restrict access, service encryption, and audits of our control environment to protect it." And so that is Amazon's official statement. But I find this obviously to be a little disturbing, although I have to say it's not surprising to me that they would be recording all of this and sending it back, even though they have publicly claimed in the past that they don't do these things. They clearly do, and Bloomberg just broke that. But I think this also opens up a can of worms. Now, there was a case in, I want to say it was Massachusetts, about 6 months to a year ago or so, where they believe they caught a murder on the Amazon Echo. And there have been other cases as well where basically Amazon has said, well, we don't, we're not storing these, we don't have these things. In that sense, it's not always listening. I personally did a video to prove that it is always listening by giving it fake keywords like Rexa, Schmexa, Blexa, Integra, and then when I say the word Alexa, it fires right up. And so it has to be listening to every single thing I'm doing in order to literally get the intonation of Alexa. And so I think we are sitting on basically a massive legal issue. I think countries around the world, the United States and otherwise, could potentially start requesting access to this in potential crimes, or even surveillance. What if you are under surveillance by the United States government and you have one of these things, or any government for that matter, and you have one of these things in your home or your office or wherever it is? Basically, you've just installed a potential wiretap if a government comes down with a court order and says Amazon has to give them access, and they basically can turn this on. And so that is, I think, a very serious issue. Not to mention the fact it kind of disturbs me what some of these workers are saying, that they tried to get help from Amazon, and Amazon said it wasn't their job to interfere. And that is literally when a crime is being recorded, or a potential crime is being recorded. I don't know where Amazon's legal liability ends and begins, but I would have to imagine that if you were witnessing or a crime, even if it's after the fact through an audio recording, that is something that you should take action on, or at least notify the police on. But then again, where is the line? Where's the line of privacy versus everything else? And you would think that crime would be that line that is crossable, that would allow them to share. But then there's the gray area of things like the FBI coming into family tree DNA and basically getting everybody's DNA sample, millions of DNA samples, and Family Tree saying it's our moral obligation to give this to the FBI. And so we are sitting here on a whole bunch of different data that we are generating ourselves personally, and we don't necessarily know what our rights are to this. My video yesterday was literally on, do you own the data that your car is generating? We don't know. And I think it's something that we're going to have to figure out and decide as a society, or else we're going to continue to give our data away or continue to be tracked and recorded simply for the ease of use of, asking for a recipe or what time it is, or to stream music, from a service that literally is listening to everything you're doing. So take that for what it's worth. But I thought that was your interesting news of the day, and hopefully you agree with me. And I'd love to know if you have an Echo, and if you do, what do you think about this? And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.